Good evening. This is Jessie, and I think I have found a really nice name for my YouTube channel. It's going to be the Caffeinated Something. Caffeinated Bookworm. Yes, because I'm always drinking coffee. That sounds like a good name. So I know I was supposed to go over a couple more of my favorite books, but I think today I'm really just going to cover some of the things that I'm reading for school right now, because I am working on my English, my bachelor's in English at OSU. I already have my associates in arts from Northwest Vista in San Antonio, Texas. Currently we are reading Le Morte d'Arthur by Sir Thomas Malory. I am taking a Arthurian Legends class. So we've gone over Chrétien de Troyes, as well as Geoffrey of Monmouth and Marie de France. And actually, my best friend of like 30 years has recommended some other reads for me with regards to this, but I'm really looking forward to reading Legendborn. It's not for the class, but it looks like it's going to be an amazing retelling of it. And so that is definitely on my to-read list soon. I'm not going to go over the textbooks that I've read because there's a lot of them, and they're not really for fun. Some of these are for fun. I found Monmouth really dry. Chrétien de Troyes wasn't that great. I really did like Marie de France. She was my favorite in here. Le Morte d'Arthur is a little bit more interesting. There's a lot to it. It is a really big book. I didn't get the edition that they told us to get for class. I got this really pretty illuminated, illustrated version of it, which kind of throws me off in class sometimes, but it is well worth it. Some of the books that I read before, I did take a Shakespeare class. So I've read The Twelfth Night, King John, Hamlet, Romeo and Juliet, a couple of other ones. I also took a film as lit course a couple terms back, where we watched some really interesting films. I'll go over that maybe on a later video, maybe. I did take Mexican Lit and Mexican American Studies. Both of those classes we read Borderlands, La Frontera, the new Mestiza. The first time I read the book, I was not a fan, but the second time I loved it. I don't know, go figure. We also read Canicula, Portraits of Life on the in the Borderland or the New Frontier. I don't have the copy on me at the moment. But really, I just really wanted to touch base on some of the books that I'm reading right now for school. For my intro to fiction writing class, we did read quite a bit from, let me see, Norton's Introduction to Literature and Backpack Literature. One of the more interesting ones that I read was a piece by Geoffrey, no, I'm still thinking Monmouth. Kevin Brockmeier. It was called The Ceiling. But I did read one of Brockmeier's novels, A Brief History of the Dead, which was really interesting. For my poetry class, we read Rhymes Reason, as well as a couple of other books that were not quite textbooks. They were really more focused on different poems, poetry. So that's what I got going on right now. But I also wanted to share that I got in my Ship of Theseus in by J.J. Abrams and Doug Dorst. And if you have not heard of this, it is really interesting. So you have your main story, but then you also have a story that's annotated in the sidelines by people who read the book. It's part of the book. It's written in there, but it comes with 19 inserts, and so you have letters and some newspaper articles, and I know there's a postcard in here. So postcard. I knew there's a postcard in here somewhere. And so it seems really interesting. And so obviously, you know, this is going to be in the vein of House of Leaves by Mark Danielewski, and Night Film by Marisha Pessl. Oh, that reminds me, I had read another Marisha Pessl book that I didn't mention in my last video, Neverworld Wake, and that was a really interesting book. It was about some teens who got into an accident on the side of the road, and they go and they stay in this kind of mansion castle that they find while they're walking off the road, and then it ends up that they can't leave. It was all really interesting. But that is all I have for you today. I know it's just a little bite. So I will hopefully be doing this more normally on Fridays, because I do also work full-time in addition to going to school full-time, and I have 4 kids. My teen, I drive him to work at least a couple times a week, but I'm really excited about this. On Friday, I will do that more of my favorite books. I also have another video for more of my favorite authors. I am hoping to touch on some of the nonfiction books that I read, like my favorite memoirs. And I also plan on doing a book or a video on books I really wish I hadn't read. And so that will be kind of interesting. I hope you've all had a wonderful week and you continue to watch my videos. Like and subscribe below. Have a wonderful day.